Oh, hey guys, Denise here. Today I'm just practicing my squat here for my pose of the week. This is a very important posture. I've heard it called human being pose, and the reason is because it's actually an expression of full range of motion at my ankle, my knee, and my hip. And so, you know what? A lot of the people in the world, they hang out in this position quite a lot during the day. They do their cooking, they do their visiting, and they do their elimination in this pose too. And what that does for them is it keeps their pelvic floor healthy and integrous, because it's literally working in an eccentric contraction on a lot of those pelvic floor muscles. So this is really, really important to us for many, many fundamental reasons. And the problem is, when we don't go into a full squat for years and years and years on end, then we lose the ability to get there. And what we find is that maybe it's the hips that are preventing us from getting there. It could be the knees, but it's often the ankles too. So here's what you can do. You can see that I'm sitting on a low block, and I can just hang out and check my Facebook feed here, or I could watch a show, or I've actually been known to have my morning coffee in this position. So you can find things to do where you can hang out in this position for a while. But of course, the first thing you need to do is, how do you support yourself in this position? If you're one of the people that literally has to be on your tippy toes in this position, how do you get those heels to drop down? If you hang out like this, they're not going to come down. And you know what, I know some of us don't like to use props that much, but that is the fastest way to move through and break through in this pose. So I suggest either putting something under your heels, like I've done here, and you can do that at various levels. Here's a lower block that I could put underneath. Also helps quite a bit to have your feet a little further apart at first. And I do want to suggest that we avoid opening the feet out like that. They should really come forward if possible, so that we keep the arches lifted. So that can be a way to stay in the pose for a little bit longer. Put something under your heels that you can literally sit back into. Here's another little trick though too. You can put a block under your sitting bones and then walk your feet out a little bit. So you can see this is a more moderate version of the pose. And again, if you stay there for long enough, you are going to soften up some of that hardened tissue at the knee, at the ankle, the knee, and the hip. And staying there for a little while is what will make the difference. So just support yourself in that position. Eventually, we'll get here, and then we can chat. Thanks so much for joining me. And if you have any questions or comments, put it in below. All right, talk to you later. Bye for now.